Hey y'all, I'm back, honey. I'm back for us to get into Carlos's interview with Miss Drew Sidora. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, if you're new to the channel, then hey, bitch, make sure you guys are coming into the video. You're liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video, all of the great things, all right? Because we're about to go ahead and tap into it, okay, and see exactly what this interview was all about. So let me go ahead and get things up on the screen here so that we could just hop right on into it.
Okay. Come on.
Johnny little fancy little beat.
Is this the opening act right here?
First things first, let me go ahead and say it is sped up. So if you want to watch it in slow mo or whatever, go to Carlos's channel.
Work that I've done in my life, it really matters the most what people feel and vibe and think of my music and me as a musical artist. You know, this by far was my scariest, venture I can say thus far in my whole career. Believe it or not.
I've heard nothing you said because I'm distracted by your beauty.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't she beautiful? Lord.
Now you have said. Listen,
no,
that.
You've met before, but
Yeah,
you are.
we did.
That face.
Aw.
You know what it is? I think I met you before, but your energy and your vibe is giving like, not that you weren't confident when I met you, but it's giving a certain level of calmness, serenity, happiness. You know what it is? It's giving freedom.
Ooh.
I feel like you're free. You know what I'm saying? And honey, you are beat to the gods. Baby, you are.
Listen, for you, I had to. Listen, from head to toe, I called in the best glam, okay, that I know in all of Atlanta. So.
Did you pay them? Because they said you didn't pay them.
Oh, are we starting off? Listen.
What they say you didn't pay them?
Who
Somebody said you didn't pay them, honey.
Who said that?
I don't remember.
No, let's talk about it.
Do you want to?
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay, somebody said, one of your former glam
Okay,
said that you did not pay him and he's waiting for his Gizelle or
Oh,
Cash
the one that
App.
beat my face today? The one that beat my face today said
Ooh, ooh.
Is he here?
No, he did say
He
that.
was here. They saw him. Yeah, he beat my face today. He was here. He paid for his job back.
Freedom?
Oh, yes. Freedom on the beat. Freedom. Hello, freedom on the beat. Yes. Was freedom on the beat today, guys? And he did it for my assistants there. He did it for. Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. Because what they say is a lot of things. But I am here with you to clear up the lies.
Come on, Drew. Drew looks good as I don't know what, baby. Clear up the motherfucking lies, Drew. I am here for it, okay? I'm here for let's be honest, okay? Cause y'all be let's get into it. Let me be quiet.
Yeah, he was here. They saw him. Yeah, he beat my face today. He was here. He paid for his job back.
Freedom?
Oh, yes. Freedom on the beat. Freedom. Hello, freedom on the beat. Yes. Was freedom on the beat today, guys? And he did it for my assistants there. He did it for. Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. Because what they say is a lot of things. But I am here with you to clear up the lies.
Come on, Drew.
Carlos.
Come on.
No lies told, ever, actually.
So the check cleared.
The check always clears, honey. Because my glam can tell you, my people, I really pride myself. Because I've been in business since 2005. I've been working since I was 8 years old.
Happy 20-year anniversary. No, seriously,
You know,
that's big.
it
A black
is.
woman in Hollywood, 20 years strong.
Yes.
We ain't gonna play no games.
Thank you.
Congratulations, seriously.
My mom was my business manager growing up. And, she taught me and instilled in me, like, good work habits and integrity, And so paying people in my little business, the little engine that could, I really am happy to be able to pay my invoices. So when people say that, I'm like, well, wait, I didn't even get paid yet. You know what I mean? And it's
Okay,
just like...
folks need to learn about Net 30.
I don't even do Net 30.
You don't?
I just learned about Net 30. I'm like, well, hold on. Because my people, like, same-day service, the Zelle and the wire is sent. And so now we've done, like, a 3 to 5 business days, guys.
That's good.
I've got invoices on Christmas Eve, and I'm like, I'm with my kids, but I still send it because, I know how important it is for the house. So, like, I really treat my people well. Like, I have chef. Everybody knows my chef. I've had her on.
Keep a chef, baby.
I keep a chef, and I love to throw those appreciation, employee engagement, dinners, lunches, pool parties. Like, I really appreciate the people because I understand it takes a lot to show up. It does. It takes a team, and it's not just me operating it. So all those things you hear, I'm here to tell you. Don't believe it.
Well, no, but that's the
not
reason
real.
why I am here. This has been 2 years in the making.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you last season. Things couldn't work out logistically. And this year, we get a chance to sit down and clear the air. You know I'm a fan. You know that. And it's funny because when I met you for the first time at She by Sheree Fashion Show, you was like, you don't like me. And I said, what do you mean, Drew? I never said anything bad about you. You don't like me. I said, Drew, I actually like you a lot. But what I will say this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, it's an amazing season. And we are loving Drew Sidora.
Oh, thank you.
Do you feel the difference with the audience perception of you this season than past seasons?
I try not to get caught up in that because I kind of just, since I've come on the show, it's like I just let the cameras catch me where I am. I live my reality and I kind of leave it there. You know what I mean? So, I hear things. Obviously, people keep me in tune with what's going on, but I really don't know what the fans want. I hear things. Of course, I see a few things, but I really just try to stay in my truth and in my integrity. And I just feel like, for whatever reason, I've gotten some labels that just are not real.
Accurate,
you know, and I wanted
yeah.
to sit down with you because, you know, you may talk to people here and there and do your cute little interviews, but I felt like with you, what I appreciate is that you are able to humanize things. And I felt like from the first time we talked, like you actually care, you know, and I just wanted to be able to have this moment to sit down to just clear up a lot of the misconceptions about me and just really give an opportunity unfiltered to talk about, you know, everything, anything. I'm an open book, always have been, but sometimes what you see in a matter of a couple of minutes doesn't tell the full story.
No, and as a producer, I know that. I know that. And listen, when you came on the show, we were all excited. We know you from the game. You play iconic T-Boss Watkins in the TLC biopic on VH1. You had a long career. I love going on Twitter and seeing old movie clips of you.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are reminded that Drew Sidora has always been that girl. So when you got on the show, there was this, and we talked about this on camera a couple of years ago, there was this perception that, okay, it's giving Tyler Perry movie. You know, is Drew acting? Is she not able to sit in the moment? And I remember talking to you about that, just us chatting. And I want the world to know this. When I said that to you, to your face, you did not understand it. And you were so caught off guard. You said, Carlos, do you really think I'm not being real? And I was like, it comes across a little acty. And you were so, not upset by, that's the wrong word, but you were perplexed by that comment. I want to talk to you about that because I said it on my podcast before, like, is it acting? And your reaction to me was so real. So I want to talk about that. Why were you shocked by that response that I gave you?
Honestly, I was shocked because, like I said, I never really get caught up in what the fans say or I'm an actress. You know, people didn't like me from this role or that role or the game. And it's like, okay, that's my work. And I kind of just leave it there and move on to the next. So with this, I'm like, I chose to come on reality because it was not something I ever saw myself doing, but because I felt like people have seen me in these various roles, but never seen me as like the human being that I am and seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the struggle. And I felt like after COVID, you know, I was going through like a ruptured Achilles. And I was like, I want to just be more vulnerable. You know, I want to have an opportunity to connect with my family and just show me as more of like the mother, the wife, the sister, you know, all the things that I am. So I was taken aback. I'm like, all I did was show my true self. I came on the show in an Achilles rupture boot. I didn't come on the show in a Louboutin. I was literally at my lowest. And so I really just let go of all of what people would expect me to appear and was my most rawest self. So yeah, and everything that I've shown has been my real life. So when you said it to me, I was like, wait, what? Because there was never any thought that it wasn't, you know what I mean? Real, because I was living and sitting in my truth to the point where I came on the show really to show like Black love. You know, Ralph and I talked about showing Black love, family, believers. We showed my church, my mom had, you know, that was what we wanted. And where we ended up was completely opposite. It was the toxicity of our marriage. And that's not what I wanted. So that was actually my worst nightmare. You know what I mean? But when people thought it was fake, I'm like, I wish it was, you know, because this is not the reality I ever wanted to show the world.
And we are seeing that reality this season because what we did learn this past episode was you guys, you and Ralph, met and then y'all were together within 3 months?
Yeah.
Engaged within, or married in 5 months?
Yes.
And you were pregnant within 8 months?
Yeah.
Now, Ralph is fine. Now, I'm going to give you that.
Well, I mean...
He's definitely cornbread fed. He looks like a big Snickers. Like, you know...
He works out in the gym. I mean...
No, Ralph is fine. Yeah. So I understand the acceleration.
Okay, yep, period.
I get it. But in hindsight, knowing what you're going through now, and we'll get to that, do you feel like Ralph gaslit you the moment y'all met?
Yes.
Coming right out with it, right? That has been my most recent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I need a tissue. I'm sorry.
Oh, Drew.
We got some in the bathroom. If there's none in there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Drew. She still got, it seemed like a lot of care for that.
Thank you.
I was pretty like
clown. He's a clown.
The face of the face, honey. We can't. No one can deny the face card.
Okay. And yeah. Okay.
It's all right, Drew.
Yeah. Reset a little bit. This is why, you know, it did take me a while to have this sit down because back then when you asked me, I knew I couldn't even get through a sentence really, you know, at that time to talk through like my feelings. I am in a much better space, but there are still wounds, you know, that need to be healed. And I think because we are on this show and I'm watching things in real time with everyone and I'm seeing his actions and his behavior, it is having me to ponder what you just asked, which is like, was it ever real? You know, everything I thought is having me to consider like, but was it ever love? You know, did he ever respect? Because someone that would go and have dinner with your ops, right? And sit there and bash you. And let's be honest, like, I'm still the mother of his kids.
Yep.
We have kids together.
Yep.
We were married
That's
for
fucking right.
now 10 years. So
that
like,
is
someone that loves
fucking
you,
right. Okay, that is fucking right. I agree. I do not care what anybody else is talking about. Granted, I will say this. Like I said, and I don't think Drew should really care that he sat with Porsha or not. Let me say this. I'm sorry. I don't think Drew should care that Porsha filmed with her husband, okay? Because he's still her husband till they divorced. However, I think it's so fucked up of him. Just like I said, Porsha need to hold that weight on Dennis. Drew would need to hold that weight on Ralph. But Ralph is not in a place where he's trying to do any favors for you or make you look good or anything. He's out for vengeance because of how he has shown himself up to be on this show. And he wants to be mad at us fans for how we view him as if it's your fault. No, Nick, it's your fault. You are the reason, Ralph. You are the reason that we feel how we feel about you. Okay? And I think that's messed up. And then for you to go on and talk about some she cheated. And my thing is this. Everybody keeps saying that. I don't care how many people try and reach out, say anything. Baby, I need more proof. Okay? Because y'all not dropping shit for me. Y'all not dropping anything for me. Okay? So, but here's the thing though. And let's say Drew did. I don't care if I don't care. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, Drew is lying about this. Okay, Raph has lied about plenty of things as well. Okay? Oh, Drew cheated. Okay, and you want me to believe that he hasn't? Let's keep going.
And that respects you as even just a mother of your kids wouldn't behave this way. So then
I'm hungry,
I just said to
y'all.
someone,
Forgive
I said,
me.
unless they never really loved you and they never really respected you. And that's where my train of thought has been. Because for me, I've never set out to bash Ralph. I have done nothing but tried to protect him for his actions and tried to gain understanding for his actions. And I mean, as you see the season, I'm not sitting around talking about Ralph, talking about my healing. And it was very, very hurtful to see that scene with him, Porsha, and Shamia.
Don't be hurt. He shouldn't. Yeah. Nothing he do should surprise you at this point.
Husband. What was your knee-jerk reaction to that knowledge? Like, did you find out before the episode aired or the trailer even?
Yeah.
Or even if you did, was it a gut punch to you to watch it and to hear what he said? Like, walk me through that moment because, listen, I love Porsha, I love Shamia, and I said this on my podcast. I said, look, I gotta be honest, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the scene, and I gave my reasons why. I'm not here to regurgitate that.
Yeah.
I'm not married to Ralph, and I don't have kids by him. So I am curious to know, what were you feeling the moment you watched me and Porsha meet with Ralph?
So during filming, I heard that they filmed together. But it was like variations. Like, it almost sounded like they ran into each other at a restaurant. And so it was kind of like, oh yeah, they had some words and that was it. I didn't know it was like a planned sit-down situation. So when I watched it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is giving like a full scene. This is like everyone knew and they are here together and they're happy to see each other. And I'm like, wow. And I like what they did in trying to cover it in a meeting of a podcast. Oh, I see what you tried to do there. Okay. But it landed flat because, as we see today, there is no King and Queens podcast.
Sure isn't.
We're not seeing the manifestation of that.
Spotify?
I mean, I haven't seen it, and I think...
Okay, your album is though.
The album is. It's on Apple Music and iTunes. I know Ralph in the Basement is on his YouTube. But this other podcast with Jami, I haven't seen any remnants of that. But they had this meeting. And so, let's say respectfully, it's a business meeting. All right. But it went into discussion of Drew. And that's where I felt disrespected. I felt, from Ralph being still technically legally married. I'm like, you're volunteering information that was between you and I. You're sitting here entertaining text messages that aren't real because we haven't seen them. You're entertaining...
Pause. When you say he's volunteering information between you and he, that was between y'all, then Drew, I feel like you are confirming that you fucked Ty. That you cheated on him with Ty. Because that's the only thing I can recall him saying. But what I will say is, again, y'all, I don't give a damn. Drew, I hope you fucked her a few times. To be honest, I hope you let her licky all the way down to your toes. And then I want to move to the bed, down to the floor. I hope that it was a lot of that going on. I'm not going to even hold you. Don't even be mad. Okay? Period. I hope she licked you from the Texas down to the Georgia. That's what I say.
Basically, a try of a takedown of me, a destruction of me and my character, and really everything I've built since the age of 8. It's like,
period.
On top of what I've built for myself as an actress, as a mother, and then as a wife, you're trying to destroy that. And I just didn't think it was necessary. I didn't think it was necessary. And then he never told me. He never divulged anything to me. I literally found everything out on the show. And I just felt like, regardless of if our relationship and our marriage is not working out, there's still just a level of respect that you should have for the mother of your kids.
Let me say this. I be wanting Drew to fuck some shit up so bad when it comes to Ralph. I be wanting her to really tear some shit up. But I have to be very honest to say, Drew, continue to move in grace, right? Just a little bit, because whatever he's dishing out, it has to return. It has to return to him at some point. I don't think there's been a couple or a situation alive that we have watched where somebody has done some FS and it has not returned to them. Okay, at a later time. So just, I would say, continue to handle it with grace for the most part, but then I really do be wanting you to tear his shit up. But all right, girl, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all think she should fuck the club or fuck the club up? What y'all think she should do? Should she tear it up or just continue to move in grace?
Felt so sorry for you when you allowed us, the viewers, to follow you go to court. And the judge, at the end of the day, did not do something that you wanted, which is, I believe, was unsealing. And he was gloating. And you were so frustrated and you cried. And I remember that in that moment, I said, and I like Ralph. I met Ralph. He's a cool guy. Again, I'm watching the show, so I'm only basing it off the show. I said to myself, oh, Ralph don't like you.
Okay.
He don't.
Wow.
He don't like you. And he's determined to expose you.
He is.
I got that instantly. That was maybe a few episodes ago. So when I watched the scene and he brought up...
It's giving DDG just a little bit, talking about, oh, she got this golden image. That's what he said about Hallie. Oh, she got this golden image. And I've been protecting it. That is exactly how Ralph ass is moving. She got this golden image. So now he's trying to taint the image of her. But you can't. Not too much. They already calling her a liar even when she ain't. Right? She could be telling the dog ass truth. They still gonna say what Drew gotta say is a liar. So what else can you really do to make the people not like her? For you to really for you to really expose her? What else can you possibly say or do? Nothing. Okay, and honestly, the people that made up their damn mind, you need to be focusing on getting the people to like your ass versus trying to dislike her.
Ty. And he's alleging that, in the words of Lisa Nicole Cloud, that you and Ty are in a lesbian relationship.
Were?
Is that true?
Well, what I can say is, at the time when all of this came out, right? Because to be honest, I'm tired of hearing about it. It's like a year old of information. It just wasn't the right time to talk about it, honestly. I think now today, I sit here and I say, like, what I went through with Ralph over the 10 years of marriage, no one got to really see that pain and really see every detail of what he did to me. And I can promise you this, if a cardboard box would have came and showed me some attention, I would have given it, right? Ty was someone at that time that gave me attention that I wasn't getting from my husband. And I said it on the show. She was a really great friend to me that, like, as simple as put, laughed at my jokes, understood me, listened to me. And so to have someone as your husband that's supposed to be your best friend that you feel like you can talk to and tell anything to,
right.
I didn't have that. Before I ever met Ty, there was so much that happened that at that point, Ralph had moved out of the bedroom. I was speaking with the divorce attorney. He was asking for a divorce. We were in conversations of a separation. And yeah, Ty was there and a great friend. Flirting? Yeah. But like at the end of the day, we both have said it was a great friendship. And I'll still say to this day, we're friends. We're not enemies. But relationships come and go. Friendships come and go. And it wasn't what he was making out to be as far as he wanted this divorce. I was fed up. There was infidelity. There was pain. There was hurt. And I feel like he waited for a reason. He waited for a reason. And I feel like that friendship was that reason he hung on to and he's still hanging on to.
So basically, Drew, to me, is saying that she did not do anything with Ty until she said it. Now, some people may read this, though, Drew, as you're not fully answering the question, but I feel like, to me, she is. Right? She's saying that it was just a friendship, right? They flirted with each other. She's not saying it was anything sexual in that capacity. They did entertain conversation. I feel like if it would have went on even longer, maybe Drew would have got it in with her, right? But I do feel like he used that as an excuse for him to justify justify the divorce, right? But, he gives that energy of a man that is cool when he do it, but it's a problem when you do it, right? But I just say, Ralph, be careful how you handling her because you're going to have to face that at some point. You're going to face that energy, okay? I promise you what you're giving out, you're going to get it in return.
Because I had an open conversation with him about Ty being a friend. He felt like it was inappropriate, so we didn't talk anymore. I thought we were in a position to reconcile. And again, I've been met with him wanting an open relationship.
Which is crazy because when Drew had an issue with the damn assistant, it gave him... it took him a minute to get that girl the fuck up out of there, didn't it? Right? I think he felt like Drew was doing too much or felt like she was, it's not as deep as what you're thinking or whatever the situation was. I don't think he got rid of that assistant as quickly as Drew wanted him to get rid of that damn assistant.
Him wanting to have other women. He's not still been honest. I was waiting when Porsha and Shamia asked, have you ever cheated on Drew? I was waiting for him to be honest. And he got choked up. And he just threw out no. And I'm like, okay, if we can see it, we can see that he wasn't being honest. But I was waiting for him to be honest because until he's honest about what we've gone through, you can't continue to point the finger and try to play victim as though you were hurt when you already wanted the divorce. Even dating back to when we lived in Chicago, he wanted the divorce.
Oh, so he's always wanted the divorce, not you. I thought it would have been the other way around.
I'm going to say this, and I'm not labeling you. I want to respect the boundaries when it comes to this topic. And you have my permission to tell me to move on, and I respect it because at the end of the day, again, I'm not labeling you. But what I will say is, as an openly gay man, I am not comfortable ever trying to out somebody or dig deep in terms of same-sex relationships, friendships, whatever. So I really want you to tell me respectfully when to stop. Okay? Because I know you want to clear the air, and I'm only going to ask you things, and I want you to answer them if you want to. When it comes to you and Ty, the way Ralph made it seem like it was more than a friendship, that you guys could have been lovers intimately. What do you have to say to that? Were you and Ty ever intimate, kiss?
Flirting, yes.
Okay.
A lot of flirting. Okay. I'm not going to say that there wasn't flirting. There was a lot of conversation. There was a lot of group hangouts. And for me, there were just certain things that I wasn't comfortable with, and not judging anybody for their sexual orientation. I just love my husband, you know? And so there were certain levels. Now, I can't help if, you know, Ty felt differently or how she felt. I can't speak for her. But for me, I appreciated the friendship. I appreciated the conversation. I appreciated the fun. I appreciated, you know, the distraction from what I was going through. And so much so, I mean, she was around. We hung out publicly. So I wasn't worried about people seeing us or people, but I didn't know it was going to get to this extent to where he would say the reason why he wanted to divorce was because of Ty.
Boom. Clock it, Drew. Call it out. But the people are going to continue to push the narrative because they want you to be gay so bad. Well, girl, you would be bi or whatever like that. But if you was over there getting bi, doing what you do, then do, you know, just be honest and just stay there. If you like a little piece of cat over here, a little piece of dick. Anywho, girl, listen. The people gonna push it because they, you know, the people gonna believe what they want to believe, all right? Just like I am, right? So I'm not even gonna come down on y'all for y'all beliefs. If you believe she hunched on that lady, cool.
Was it actually true?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When he said that was the reason, I'm gonna be honest with you. When Ralph said the reason why we're divorcing is because of Ty, I felt that Ralph wanted to find a reason to bring up Ty. And it goes back to what I saw a few episodes ago. I just felt like Ralph is determined to embarrass you. And he wanted that to come out the way it appeared. And what I will give you props on is when he said it, they did do a flashback of a scene you did film. And everything you're saying, so listen, to your credit, everything you're saying to me, you said on camera, they aired that 6-second snippet. So, but that's why I felt the intention was to embarrass you. I've been around Ty before. She dated my friend Mimi Faust. Ty is fine, and Ty could probably have me. I mean,
not Ty could have you. I'm hollering now.
Listen, let's not pretend. And swagged out and is a really good person. And I think that's why, even to this day, we're still friends. You know, I would never say, oh, she's not a good person or minimize or, you know, extreme our friendship. It was just the intimidation that I feel Ralph felt, which I'm not going to say, you know, I can't speak for him, but I just feel like it was an intimidation there. And I feel like he was looking and grabbing onto straws of the reason why he could depart this marriage. And for what I endured, listen, my parents were married for 60 years until my father passed away. So I grew up desiring marriage, wanting marriage, thought marriage was forever because I didn't know anything different. So the times that he asked for a divorce or I found out he was with other women, I didn't ever consider divorce. I didn't. I fought for my marriage. I fought for my kids. I fought for my family. And I just feel like he was always putting that word out there. And his behavior on the show, I felt like he showed the most toxic side of him. Because as you said, he's fine, he's nice, he's cool, he's charming. I mean, I married him for those reasons. So
what's his sign?
He's an Aquarius. He's an Aquarius.
Call me next time.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I know if you're a male Aquarius child. We'll talk offline.
Listen, I'm gonna
no, he don't act like no damn Aquarius.
He carries the same birthday as my dad. Yeah.
He don't act like one.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I get it.
You get it now?
Enough said. I get it.
Listen, I've dated ball players. I've dated rappers, musicians, whatever, actors. But him having the same birthday as my dad, I was like, wait. You know, it had me to pay attention to him, and I really thought I was marrying my father. I did. So.
Come here.
Oh.
No, listen. I feel your energy, and I feel everything you're giving. This is the most vulnerable I've ever seen you be, seriously. And if the audience was in this room, they would feel it too. I just want you to know you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
You are.
And I don't want to cry again, but my spirit is telling me to tell you this.
You're going to be fine.
Your father said you did the right thing. You did the right thing. And sometimes what happens in life, you have to go through this turmoil so that you won't ever go back. And I feel like because you're such a, because I'm from the Midwest too.
Okay, yes.
Detroit folks, Chicago folks, we don't leave our relationship.
No.
We just don't. We don't leave. We stay because we feel like it's tradition.
Yeah.
And I want you to know your father is giving you permission to leave. And the reason why you're going through this hell on earth with Ralph is because everybody in heaven, who are your guardian angels, they want you to know you can never go back. Even when you have those moments where you're crying yourself to sleep at night, and I know you do. Yeah. Even when you're around the kids, and you sometimes wonder, could I just do this for the kids? I want you to know, I feel it, I feel it. I want you to know your father is giving you permission to never go back. And you're going through this hell so that it can be so disastrous that you know deep down inside you can never go back to that marriage. And I'm not calling Ralph a disaster, so don't make that the headline, y'all. But I need you to know my spirit is speaking to you, and your father is telling me to tell you you are going to be okay. You're going to be okay, and you're going to be okay financially too. You are.
You will definitely be okay.
That's
why I say, you know, just continue to move in grace just a little bit. You know, I know I want you to really fuck some shit. I really, really do. I really, really do. But also at the same time, some part of me, I respect a bit of how she's trying to move with it. Sometimes you got to get a little snarky, say a few things, you know, but he gonna get his in time, right? And when that karma and different things start showing up in your life, I want you to look back to this moment and how you handle this situation. Okay? And I have no doubt that Drew, you know, has her petty ways as well, right? But I just feel like I've seen more of it coming from Ralph than I've seen coming from her. But she gonna be good, okay? It's just, you know, everybody, you know, you go through your stuff. It happens. It's life. Keep pressing forward. But that mother,
I would like to
ooh, girl.
also address, speaking of finances, is you are working with Porsha's baby daddy Dennis, and you made a comment about, girl, I'm gonna sell so much music, it could pay for Pilar's college tuition, college fund. Porsha did not like that at all, child. She thought you brought her daughter to the situation.
Porsha
like you to clear the air
didn't know how she was saying it.
Well, watching it back, what I did see was that Shamia carried that conversation to Porsha, and it wasn't taken in the spirit that I said it. So that's first. Porsha was like, well, that's not the way Shamia delivered it to me. The way Angela said it, she was like, okay, that's not so bad. So I want to go on record saying what I said wasn't bad. And what I was saying in that moment was because I keep getting asked the same question. Why Dennis? Why are you working with Dennis? So when Shamia asked me that in that moment, I was like, this is what Dennis himself said, which I hope I get a flashback, because he said out of his own mouth, I'm doing this to build legacy for my daughter.
He said it on camera.
He did. And he continues to say it, because I've got text messages, and he would stand here and tell you that. He is not just a hot dog man, you know? He is a serial entrepreneur, which Porsha has said out of her mouth, and he said he believed in me. We stood in the studio, and he literally was emotional because he said, I believe in you so much. I know this is going to build wealth and legacy for our kids. This is going to help me put my daughter through college. So I was saying that as a way to validate his reasoning and what I believe as a blessing it would be for our families. I'm a mother. So no one was saying, and it wasn't braggadocious, but this is a blessing for all of us. You know what I mean? This is why I'm doing it. This music is bigger than me. And so that was the intention. And then when she said, well, I think her college has been paid for, I said, well, maybe whatever it can do, I feel like it's going to be able to do something. I'm not doing this to get back at Porsha. This has nothing to do with Porsha, actually. And I'm not doing it to be negative in any way. This is something I think could be a blessing.
When you saw that, there's this narrative that you tried to solicit sex from Dennis, and you said something along the lines, allegedly, of, you want to fuck Dennis. And Dennis said he's not trying to provide dick, he's trying to provide, you know, tracks. Sometimes the studio, that goes hand in hand.
She looking like, you really think I said that? You really think I said it?
Were you ever attracted to Dennis? Now,
have you not seen my husband? I like a certain physique.
Come on, bitch.
Biceps, not bellies.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Not biceps, not bellies.
I mean, the physiques are different. That's what I'm saying. The physiques are definitely different.
Now, Drew, you talking all of that. Now, your next man might have a piece of a belly. He might treat you way better than Ralph did, so you might be willing to take a piece of that belly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? But I understand what you're trying to say, though, in comparison to the two. Why the hell would I not be over here and I'll be over there? Okay? Even Todd look better than... Girl, press play. Shut up.
I like my physique.
If you know, you know. And if you see, you see. And if you know it's different, it's different. And so, it's just unbelievable to me. It's like, are we believing this? And I don't think people are believing it. I don't think you're believing it. I don't think the fans are buying it.
I don't buy it at all.
Porsha was brought here to give a life and a story that she wasn't able to deliver. And so that is the reason my name is brought up in every scene, every episode, every moment.
Talk, Drew. Talk, bitch.
So that's just what we're seeing.
She
and
said,
it's unfortunate because
Porsha is here to give what?
Not bellies. I really, no offense to Dennis. I mean, but the physiques are different in every episode, every moment. don't think people are believing it. I don't think you're believing it. I don't think the fans are buying it.
Come on, Drew, talk it.
Porsha was brought here to give a life and a story that she wasn't able to deliver.
Ooh.
And so
Porsha was brought here to bring and give a life that she wasn't able to deliver. Yikes.
That is the reason my name is brought up in every scene, every episode, every moment, even in her confessionals. So that's just what we're seeing. And it's unfortunate because in my real life, I'm dealing with so much that when I come into this friend group, it's just so far from the truth. You know, you hear the music. What we were doing was real. You see the fruits of our labor, and it wasn't easy, and it was a journey, and people really got behind it, and so much so. Porsha was a fan of the music before cameras were.
What do you mean?
She and I had a conversation, and she said this on, I want to say episode 1 and maybe episode 2. She definitely said we had a conversation. Dennis invited her to my birthday party. Why would Dennis be inviting you to my birthday party if you had no idea? So people gotta, and I think the fans are seeing it. The fans are really smart. Like I can say this season, the people see what it really is. And what it really is that Porsha and I had a conversation, and I told her about me working with Dennis. Let me back up, because when she was Mrs. Gubadia, I reached out to her multiple times. Multiple times. I texted her multiple times. I called her multiple times. And what I know now about Porsha is she's just not a girl's girl. And she's just not a good friend. So in my reaching out to her, she was busy off living her princess African life. And no one heard from Porsha. She wasn't showing up. She wasn't around us. We didn't see her. We saw her on Instagram. We saw the life on Instagram that she was putting out there. And so therefore, that's what it was. And so I didn't get any return phone calls. It was not reciprocated. It wasn't reciprocated. I'm reaching out. You're not reaching out to me.
That's the energy I think that she was giving Shamia also. But let me tell you a little bit, you know, not that, you know, I'm glad you guys have fallen out at all. It's none of that. But what I will say is true. A part of me is like pinching you, like, that's what you get. Because wasn't you over there upholding, you believe so much in the institution of marriage, but you was over here supporting Porsha when she was engaged to this man, knowing damn well that her ass was married. I'm sorry, he was married to somebody else. Right? Hell no. Don't be supporting that.
When she heard about the divorce, she never reached out to me. When I heard about her divorce, I immediately reached out to her. But at a certain point in time, and I have the text messages, I was like, you need to call me, you know? And she said, well, let's go to eat. I said, listen, she wanted to know, what are the new girls like? I don't know about the new girls. I don't know anything. But I need to see you. I need to talk to you. Oh, not you trying to bait me. Girl, I need to talk to you, because I felt like it was something that was important to talk about. So she called me. We had a conversation. She's like, yeah, I know. I love the music. I love what you and Dennis are doing. We were in this studio, and Dennis will call her. Hey, girl.
And she over here
she knew we were working on
doing shit
Dennis
for the
like,
show.
She loves this track. She loves this track.
What's Porsha's favorite track on your album?
All of them, child. All of them, okay? She said it. She said the album is a hit. So she loves the project as a whole.
Yeah, because it's good.
Porsha called me because she apologized for not making it to my birthday party. And she said, come hang out with me and Yandy. Let's go out, girl. We need to talk and celebrate. We have so much to celebrate. We have so much to talk about with our divorces. And I was like, girl, I'm tired because my birthday party was a lot and I'm about to lay it down. And so when I saw her at Shamia's birthday party, I'm like, let's do some shots. Like, what's up, girl? I was just so happy to see my girl. So when she came at me, that's why my mouth was open. And I didn't really...
You were gassed.
I was flabbergasted. I'm like, I was so confused because I'm like, we definitely like talked a couple of times and we've already talked about this, you know, because as a friend, I felt like it was important to do so. So the conversation happened. When it happened, was on her terms, but it definitely happened. And there was no beef, there was no issue, there was no, we need to have a conversation, we need to have a sit down because I'm feeling away. It was none of that. So that's why I was taken aback and I was just like, because this energy seemed to be for the camera.
When you are watching this season unfold, and obviously we did see Shamia's birthday party, we saw what happened in the first episode, and now we're seeing this destruction between Shamia and Porsha's friendship. I would like for you to clear the air on this as well. Angela Oakley, your Chi-Town sis. Don't you love Angela?
I love it. Oh my God. I tried to get Angela on a few seasons ago.
I tried to tell the girls that we were trying to get Angela. I don't know about season 3. I was watching it back. I'm like, I don't know about season 3, but maybe it was season 6.
Okay.
But we tried to get Angela. I would get calls about Angela Oakley.
Yeah.
I think it's when she first started dating Charles. I think it was like 2015. No.
That'd be about right. Well,
yeah. But long story short, you tried to get her on. Like, I remember us trying to get her on.
Yep.
But I digress.
She's here now.
She's here now. She's doing a great job. So Angela revealed that you, her, and Shamia had dinner one night, and that allegedly Shamia put out her pinky finger and said what exactly? What did she say?
We did all that. That's exactly what happened.
So all three, so it was like...
It was given...
It was given Power Rangers?
Yes,
so it was given that, and then it was like, you right? Activation?
It was activated. Angela said she had her fingers crossed
behind her back. That is what Angela said, though.
Behind her back.
Because Angela don't trust some girls. I watched the show.
Listen, I pinky swear because Shamia and I have known each other, and I feel like we have grown to build what I would consider a friendship over the years. Angela, like, I don't know you. I just met you yesterday. So I love her energy. But Shamia and I have built a rapport and a friendship over the years. But it was like this wrestling with Shamia is the best way I could put it into words. It was a wrestling. And we had a cocktail or two. And she felt vulnerable. And I feel like she felt comfortable and she needed to get this out. And so she was like, I need us to pinky swear because what I'm about to tell you, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space. So we pinky sweared. I'm like, what's wrong, you know? And she went on to tell us that she felt like, you know, she needed to be real and address the issues that she has in her friendship with Porsha. She went on to say how she didn't want to come across as though now she's got a peach and she's here and now she's going to tear down her friend who helped her to get on the show. She didn't want the fans to come for her in that way to feel like she's ungrateful or a bad friend. So I can tell you she was considering the fans and the look of how it would come across. As we see now, she's talking, you know, because she's like, okay, I'm in a good place. But then she was just like, you know, this is Porsha's show. She's the HBIC. And I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the real. And she went on to say that, you know, the friendship is not in the place everyone thinks that it's in. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha didn't come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach, nor ever take her out to celebrate her. I would never know this. I would never know this, and I never would have thought that that was the case because Instagram shows like this great, beautiful, you know, friendship. But there was a plethora of things that Shamia said that I feel like Shamia needs to vocalize, right? Because that's her story, that's her pain, that's her journey. But she had a lot to say about how she felt like Porsha was not a good friend to her and that she has been a very loyal friend to Porsha. And we only encouraged her because myself, and I've always told Angela, I told Sonia, and how I've lived on this show is speak your truth and just be you. And that's all I can say. And so we encouraged Shamia to do that. And I think with us now knowing this and Angela speaking to Porsha, it was bound to come out. And it did.
Correct. I believe what Drew's saying. I believe what Drew's saying. If you guys have watched my Real Housewives of Atlanta review, then you'll see where I felt like Shamia has entertained conversations about Porsha on that very episode. So I do believe because of that, she did confide into Drew and old girl with the pinky promise or whatever the case is. About that. She just wasn't sure what all they actually told Porsha. And that's why she was reacting and acting the way that she was. In my personal.
Shamia is just tired of being the background singer in Porsha's life.
Yeah, I think that Shamia, first and foremost, is such a humble spirit.
She is.
Such a pure soul. I just love her. I just love who she is, and she's so dynamic, and she has so much energy, and she just seems like she puts on a happy front. Like, I'm gonna just be the life of the party. I'm gonna make everybody laugh, and she doesn't really get an opportunity to open up about who she is and how she's feeling because she's never been in a position to. So the friend of the show, she became the friend in real life. The cheerleader on the court was the cheerleader that I think she was for a lot of people, you know, but particularly Porsha. So seeing her in this position, I felt like this was her opportunity to exhale and release and exhale. And I just felt for her because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship, friendship, and you feel like you can't really speak your truth, but you want to clear the air so hopefully you guys can get to a better place. And you know, I don't know if they will get to a better place. Of course, I don't wish breakups, fallouts on anybody. It's so hard and it's heartbreaking to see, but this was something she, definitely was at a breaking point and needed to get out.
Do you think Shamia is Porsha's lapdog?
Oh, yeah. I stand on that. I stand on that. I said it. You'll see. I said it a couple of times, actually.
You said it already?
Okay, yeah. I mean, because it's just, you know, I believe that's who she is. Because again, you know, when you don't speak your truth, what are you? You know, if you, like I said, are barking up a tree and not being your own tree, we don't really know who you are. You know, you're under someone else's shade. You're under someone else's genealogy, someone else's truth. She's been living under Porsha's shadow.
Ooh,
and I just felt like that is the best word. People said it before me on the show. She was a lapdog. And I say it for myself now because that's what I've seen. For her to come for me about something that Porsha and I already spoke about is lapdog behavior. For her to run back a very innocent conversation back to Porsha and take it in any negative light is lapdog behavior. For her not to stand
I cannot disagree with Drew.
on business about what she shared with Angela and I and sulk in the moment and not stand and arrive is lapdog behavior. Yeah. And you know, I know a couple puppies. And I have a couple dog treats. So I can identify.
Because didn't she throw a dog treat at somebody last year? Or something like that. I could have sworn she threw a dog treat at somebody.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm just saying. I just, you know.
Do you have any dog treats in the studio?
Listen, I think it might be some remnants. I got to keep them on hand. Running into all kind of Delulus and animals and the zoo and the jungle all together.
Lord Jesus. So when you went to Nashville, right? I love that Angela invited you. You go in, and long story short, you saw in the episode that when Porsha came to the table, it was giving... Porsha got nothing. You know, listen, I'll just be honest. It reminded me of like my days working on the show because I know those girls so well that when they would come to a dinner scene and give nothing, I'm like, what they mad at now? What happened? So you learned that she found out that Dennis was filming with you, and you left the trip early. You were like, I'm out of here. And then when you watch the episode, obviously you filmed the entire season, so you know what's going on. But I want to get your thoughts on this being a married woman, right? Albeit estranged, but still a married woman who was married for 10 years. When Porsha made that joke about she been leaving alone about her husband, and you saw Shamia, Kelly, and Britt laugh at it and not say anything. And the married women in that pool is Shamia and Britt.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As a married woman yourself, if you were in that pool with them and you heard Porsha make that joke, as y'all like getting buzz, whatever, would you have done what the other girls did, or would you have said something?
Listen, when Angela woke me up after she addressed the situation, because I was sleeping in my bunk bed comfortably, and when she woke me up to tell me what had happened, I was like, oh, no, we got to go outside. Who said it? And what did they say? I wanted to address it. And she was like, oh, I already addressed it. So for me, I obviously believe in the institution of marriage so much that I was like, even to the point where Angela has forgiven Porsha, I'm still feeling a way about it because I'm like, when you make those type of threats about someone's husband, that's not so easily forgivable to me. Filming with let's be clear, husband, for me, is where she crossed the line. I think husband's marriage is sacred. You go before witnesses, your family, your friends, and before God himself. I just think it sits a little different outside of just the shade. If you want to talk about, I made this innocent comment about your kids, but you're talking about someone's husband, the father of her children, I think that's a new low for Porsha, and I would have definitely addressed it, and I don't think that I would have forgiven it so easily either.
You think Angela forgave Porsha too easily?
Yeah, and I've told Angela that. I mean, I believe in forgiveness, but I believe in people proving themselves in their apologies too.
Drew not wrong on that, right? And I feel like that's how you go about being a friend, right? You don't have to necessarily be a lapdog. I feel like Drew would have been wrong if she would have been trying to approach Porsha about the shit that she said when Angela got it. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I know you wanted to go downstairs and have her back right there, but I'm glad Angela handled it how she needed to handle. You don't need to bring that up to her unless we're going to see it at a later time because it's not your issue, right? So when you try to step in front of the bullet for your friends or whatever the case is, I feel like that's where it gives lapdog energy. Sometimes you got to give them the opportunity to sort their SHI out first because they're the ones that committed the act or the crime or whatever it is.
Because words are empty when you don't back it up with the action. So, that's just my thought. But again, that's Angela's fight. But I was definitely hurting for Angela, which is why I stayed even to be there for her. And we talked almost every day after that because I wanted to make sure mentally and emotionally she was okay.
You develop a great friendship, speaking of friendships, with Kenya.
Oh, yes.
We saw, and it's interesting because we kind of saw the development of your friendship with Kenya over the course of the seasons. Yeah. And you were there, obviously, during the whole debacle at the hair salon. And I want to get your thoughts on this because there are rumors out there that you allegedly are the one who gave Kenya those photos of Britt.
Okay. I'm so very busy, aren't I? I mean, I am dating this person and this. And
right. Talk about it, Drew.
Did I print them and download? Child, this is a lot. I'm tired. Like, this is a lot of just finger pointing
and dumping on her.
Other people's actions.
I don't
Kenya
understand
has
it.
Record, which, by the way, I miss Kenya so much because coming from last season to this season, she was like my only friend that I really built a genuine friendship with that I felt comfortable even to share, my business with and my vulnerabilities with. So I do miss her. She and I talk often still. However, the issue is Kenya didn't tell anybody what she was up to. No one knew that Kenya was looking up Britt and trying to find things wherever she found them. But no, it was not me. I don't even know how to do that stuff. I've never seen Britt in anything online like that, although I've heard about it. But no.
You've heard about what?
I've heard about her having porn videos and some of the girls have murmured, a lot of the girls have murmured things online, and she tried to scrub the internet and clean it up.
Prior to joining the show?
Prior to joining the show, and then obviously once this was, divulged, she tried to scrub it. Kenya said that on her confessional.
I'm going to say this to you. This is your best season. It's your best season because you and Angela, to me, came in not trying too hard, just like, y'all kind of just eased in, you know what I'm saying, in two different directions. What you're giving this season is fantastic. And when you were interrogating Britt, me, the gays, the bays, the women, the men, we were all like, you are like an official meme right now. Because you were asking the right questions. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Britt in general? Do you think she is somebody you would be friends with?
Honestly, Britt, I just don't see it for her here. I think she's better maybe for like a rags to riches type show, but Housewives, nah. I think that, she just doesn't want to live in her truth as we see all these allegations around her husband and their marriage and then her and then, she's just not that girl. I think she's beautiful. I would never take that away from her. And I thought that we could, after our sit down. But no, it's a no for me. I think that she's just not a good fit for this circle of girls. I don't think she displays the integrity and the honesty and the truthfulness. And she just has a lot going on in her past. And her and her husband. Her and she. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot going on. And I just don't think that they are the most transparent. I think they throw a lot of stones and hide their hands. And she's just very argumentative. You know what I mean?
The husband
she just comes across very angry. I think that in the Kenya situation, threatening somebody with a weapon, like she did, I've never dealt with anything like that, coming to work. and feeling like someone is just so calm and comfortable throwing around pistol and weapons and the threats that she did. And so I feel like, although I've said it time and time again, I don't agree with how Kenya handled it, I just feel like there needed to be a conversation, a reprimanding, so to speak, about that behavior.
Would you like to see Kenya return to the show?
Yes, so much so. I was inviting her to scenes with me, like, come on, girl, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, this is our real life, right? Because let's be honest, Carlos, like, some people give me a hard time about my life, but I show my real life. Other people talk about their life. They talk about it. I literally show my life. So for me, if you're my friend, I'm like, why are you not coming with me? Like, come with me. I'm fighting for my friend, which is why I kept speaking up for her in her absence. I feel like she has and deserves a place here. And I just feel like, what happened to the days that we talk about it as grown women and sort out our differences? Like, why all the babysitting and the getting involved and erasing people from the group that really do deserve to be here?
You have been on the show for like, is it 5?
This is my 4th season.
This is your 4th season. Yeah. Who would you like to be on a cast with? Like, who is the dream cast that Drew Sidora would want to surround herself with?
Oh my God, this is hard. Let's see. Definitely Kenya. So we were just talking about Kenya. Nene. Because when I think of Atlanta Housewives, I think of Nene. And when I see Nene, I'm like, Atlanta Housewives. So definitely Nene. At this point, bring back Sheree. Listen,
no, thank you.
Sheree and I have had our moments, but there were times where I was like, oh, hell, just come back. You know?
No,
we
thank
text
you.
And
really?
We have.
You and Sheree are texting?
We have text. I'm not going to.
Okay, text.
We have text. Okay. And for mutual friends, we have communicated. There is, I think just with what we had going on at the time, it wasn't so far gone that we couldn't be in the space that we're in now. And I do respect who she has been on the show, who she is. And I miss our going back and forth. So I'm not going to lie. Like, I really,
But y'all, this seems so long ago. Last season's reunion, because you and her had first chair. Yeah. And the back and forth between the two of you were so funny. I was texting Sheree like, I am enjoying this. Like, it was so funny to me. So the fact that you can even say like, look, we had our issues, but when I look back on like what's great for the show, like Sheree's great for the show. Yeah, Sheree and I wrote next to each other to reunion. And I'm sitting here helping her with Instagram and social media, and we're talking. And then we get a reunion. I'm like, oh, here we go. It has definitely been that type of friendship for us. But yeah, we text. I just worked with Kandi and Todd. Yes. And Kandi and I have had a clearing, and so I would say Kandi for sure. Angela, of course. Yeah, I think that about. And I love Shamia. Shamia. You want her as a housewife or a friend of? As a friend. Well, you want Shamia to be a friend. I think that, if Shamia could show us her full, like I said, I have given y'all my husband and my strange husband. And so I just feel like that's important for us to really get a glimpse to her as a wife too, as a housewife. We want to see that. I think that's important. Yeah. It's my little 2 cents here. Okay. So listen, you have been famous for so many years. I
don't know. I mean, Shamia, her husband don't want to be on the show, so I don't know.
Although you're legally married, you are going through a divorce.
Maybe she got a point.
Are you dating anybody right now? Is there any of your old celebrity men that you would like to, circle the block with? Oh gosh, spin the block?
Don't say LeBron.
A lot of attractive celebrity men on your roster.
Really?
Yes. Who was the most famous guy you dated?
Oh Lord, I got destroyed for one that I sort of kind of didn't mention. Oh Lord.
Don't say his name. Don't say it. Keep going. Don't say it.
At the time, listen, he was not married. Okay. He was not dating. Okay, this was when we were very young. But the king of the NBA was someone, and you can dig up newspaper clippings and people wrote about us. My sister went online to set the record straight, that is truth. But I did also date Young Berg at the time when he was Young Berg, now Hitmaker.
Young Berg about dated everybody.
That I dated Michael B. Jordan. I've never said that out loud publicly. But people that know. And
you do like biceps.
Oh, really?
Hello.
You dated Michael B. Jordan? So that would be a long time ago, but everybody always links him to white women, or at least he's linked himself to that. So people felt like when he got with Lori Harvey, that was his way of trying to get rid of that narrative that was out there about him. Hey. That's interesting. Now, Drew, if you were a kid, I don't want to know about this stuff.
Oh, my God. Carlos, okay?
Listen,
come on, friend.
Listen.
And that's the truth. He was on, he asked me to be his date to the NAACP Awards.
This is Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, and this is when he was on the soap opera. He was on. And yeah, like my sister Allison, he would come over and she would cook for him. And we went out and met his mom. And
were y'all really dating though?
Yes, that is my past. As you would say, roster. But at the end of the day, like I said, my parents were married for 60 years. I wanted someone that I felt compatible.
But you sat up there and said that Michael Jordan was your cousin, and your mama had said you never know way down the line. So why would you then go up there and date Michael B. Jordan if he could also be your cousin? So.
outside of the names and who they were. I was like, I want what I see my parents having. I want that best friend. I want that person I'm attracted to as well as I feel like we can build something together. So yeah, you know, but dating, I went on a couple of dates. I'm not gonna act like I haven't. I've gone on a couple of dates.
Regular guys, celebrity men, you know, owners of establishments.
Wow, really? You really do.
Listen, I'm a journalist.
Yes. I think all the above.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, all the above. It's been, you know, just a quick little date and just like, okay. But before I find myself going too far, I'm like, I gotta wrap this up because this one, he won't let me be great. Now, he has posted women on his social media and leaves for weeks and weekends at a time, comes home. But for me, I feel like until I wrap this up, it's just more messy, you know? And I don't feel like I can be as available right now. But dating has been cute.
Listen, I will say this. Dating when you're either close to 40 or after 40 in this day and age, it's a little difficult, but I will say there's some gems out there, but you gotta, listen, my advice to you is to
you gotta be open.
Explore other areas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that for you.
I got you.
You got me?
I follow.
Okay, you follow?
Definitely.
You won't regret it.
I've heard. I've never tried, but I've heard.
Listen.
You gotta diversify, honey.
You have to, like your portfolio. Diversify your portfolio of income, of, you know, incoming men. You know, diversify your portfolio.
Well, thank you.
But Michael B. Jordan is single, so.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm more of an organic girly. Like, if it happens and we meet and we see and we vibe at this point in our lives, it has to be a natural thing for me. I don't really like the blind dates and the setups. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. And I think right now, honestly, with everything y'all see that I'm dealing with, it's like, I don't really have the capacity to take anyone serious right now. And I really need to get back to a place where I trust again. Because being married for 10 years and having who you think is your person that you trust and to realize that was ops.
Right,
basically. It's almost ops now. How do I trust somebody again, you know, in that way? So I'm very guarded, very, very guarded.
Your album is so good. And I feel like you and Coco Jones are like bringing R&B back. You know, in its
that would have been a good
form.
collab concert.
Listen, I listened to it a lot. And you, first of all, listen, I feel like the world, please buy this album, stream it, whatever, but you can sing.
Thank you.
You are a singer. But talk to me about the album, because if people listen to, or when people listen to it rather, you do share a lot about what you're going through. But it's such a personal album that I really want the world to really listen to it to understand more about who Drew Sidora is.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. So talk to me about this album and why people should cop it.
This album, like I said, it is bigger than me. Not only will you listen to this album, but you will feel this album. It is a journey. So people say, well, what's your favorite record? You know? And I'm like, for me, you can't take one record, because when you take out one record, it doesn't tell the full story. From where I was when I recorded my first record, which was Better on My Own in this studio, and just the progression of how I felt, you can literally feel the heartbreak. You can feel the days that I was like, could I rekindle this with my husband, you know? You feel the days where I was like, F everybody, F him, and I'm outside. You know, you feel the journey of healing. And that's really what it was. People say, why Dennis? And I'm like, why not? You know, I got the music sent to my management, and it was the music that got us to this point. It wasn't about the person. You know, you never know who the vehicle's gonna be. And listen, Vincent Herbert signed me to Def Jam. I was signed to Slip and Slide. I was signed to Babyface. I mean, I've worked with so many amazing producers. And yet,
and known people in the industry already, right?
Music is powerful. So this wasn't about the perfect situation or the perfect person. It was about the music that was coming in my inbox that I felt like was my therapy. It was speaking to my heart and my spirit. And it was what I needed in that season to get out, to help me to get to this place that you said you see as freedom, as a peace that I can sit in. Because keeping that internalized, it wasn't doing nothing for me. It really wasn't. And I can admit that now. There was things that I wasn't able to talk about or express. And I felt like with this album, I said everything I needed to say. From the good, the bad, the ugly, the blood, sweat, and tears, I literally cried on this album. And that's why I feel like it's connecting in a way that's different from anything else I've done.
And you're going on tour. Talk to me about that, boo.
God is good. Like, I gotta give it to him, because the response, obviously coming out, debuting number 4 on the charts. I'm almost gold in streams.
Good for you, Drew. Good for you.
1,000 away.
No, that's major in this climate.
It is amazing to get a plaque. You know, I'll get my gold plaque. But the incoming calls that are coming from major labels. So we got offers to go out on tour. And now we have locked in a tour. This year, literally this summer, fall, I'll be on tour.
Spring, summer.
Right, that's what I'm thinking too. Spring, summer, fall.
No, honey.
Yes!
Summer, fall, period. Nothing more, nothing less. 10-city tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you're doing good. I mean, listen, the songs, excuse me, are great. The album's great. You're going on tour.
Yeah.
You're back your acting bag.
Yes.
I want to see more of you doing that too. You've been great on Lifetime stuff that I've watched.
Thank you.
And you have fans in that industry too. And then you're on listen, this season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta is so good. Yeah. And you're on the most talked about reality show that's airing right now. And you have a lot going on. We are in the middle of the rest of the season. Phaedra's coming back.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Phaedra's return to the show?
You know, Phaedra is an OG, so I always got to respect an OG. That's just how I operate.
Yeah.
However, I know she didn't do a lot on Married to Medicine. And then she came on our show pretty much at the end. But I'm hoping that we'll see her next year.
So you don't want to say nothing else, but she threw shade. She threw shade at you.
Well, she was trying to get to know everybody, so she gave us faces, and she gave a lot of faces. You know, and some laughs, and yeah. So I can't say anything bad per se. You know, I can't say anything bad. I can't. And we were pretty much done. You know what I mean? The work was done. So we'll see. We'll see.
The work was done.
It's in store.
You are.
You know?
You are something else. Listen,
Drew want to see her back so she can get her ass
for
back.
The beautiful Sidora. This has been worth it. The 2 years we're trying to do this has been worth it. Listen, I'm so proud of you. I love you. And you listen, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So that there is all of Drew's interview. Okay. I thought that it was really good. I enjoyed the interview that she did. I want her to keep her head up, you know. Drew, I also kind of feel like Slick, speak up for yourself a little bit more when these people be trying to lie on you. But then at the same time, I feel like when she do speak up, it don't damn matter because people be set in what they want to think and what they feel. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about that whole conversation with Ty. You know, when Carlos asked about that. For me, I feel like Carlos was feeling like he probably didn't get the answer when I said some people may feel like she's not answering the question. So he asked her again more directly. And she pretty much said the same thing, like nothing happened. It was just a friendship. Yes, we may have flirted, but it did not go that far because I was not comfortable with it going that far, right? And she didn't expect it to blow up the way that it did because Mimi Faust wanted to come in and try and confirm some stuff, and then you got Ralph that's saying some stuff, which is also interesting because Ty did an interview and talked about how she really wasn't even with Mimi around the time that she met Drew. So what is this energy that you have so much for trying to put out a narrative, making it seem like Drew took your lady from you or something? Like, girl, what? You need to take that up with Ty because Ty really ain't even claiming you at all. So I don't know, aside from the time that y'all did spend together. So I don't know. But all in all, they both saying nothing happened. They both saying that they friends. I don't know if something did happen and they just using it as an excuse to continue to protect her as a married woman or what. But either way, I don't care. And I told y'all that so many times and I'm going to keep telling you that, all right? But all in all, leave your thoughts down below, okay, on what she had to say about Shamia and everything, too. I'm Jami, that's me, and y'all know I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool